This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the HTC Surround Windows Phone 7 smartphone on AT&T. It's certainly Windows Phone 7 week here at Mobile Tech Review. This is the launch week for Windows Phone 7 as a new smartphone platform that looks radically different from Windows Mobile. And AT&T at launch has 3 phones, actually 2 available. The Samsung Focus and the HTC Surround. The LG Quantum is coming, and that's the one with the slide-out keyboard. The Surround's claim to fame is its boombox feature. Slide it like that, and no, you don't get a hardware keyboard, you get a large speaker area over here, and this controls the Dolby SRS surround effect on-off. And indeed, this is a bit louder and fuller sounding. Let's take a look around the device. This is the quite large earpiece over here. The capacitive touch buttons, these are standardized on Windows Phone 7 for back, the Windows Start button, and the search. Likewise, the camera button is a standard requirement for the platform. Here are your volume controls. These feel really nice in hand, by the way. They're a little bit raised so you can feel them, but you don't tend to hit them by accident. And you can use these to actually wake up the playback controls even when the screen is in the lock mode. On the back here we have not a soft touch grippy finish, but it's not a gloss one, so it doesn't show much in the way of fingerprints, and it's easy to hold on to, much less slippery than the Samsung Focus in that respect. Got your 5 megapixel camera with LED flash here. A rear-firing regular speaker, as opposed to the slide-outside speakers. Nothing going on over here on this side. Here we have the micro USB port, the microphone. And up here, the 3.5mm stereo jack, and a stereo earbud headset is included, and this is your power button. In keeping with the multimedia orientation that the Surround has with its big speaker bar over here, and also similar to the HD7 on T-Mobile, we've got a kickstand on the back too. Very different design. On the HD7 it pops out from the ring that surrounds the camera. Here it's this little polished stainless looking bar here. And it's pretty thin. It doesn't feel super substantial. I wouldn't grab this and yank it really hard, but it works fine and it's solid to support the device like so on a desk. Do be careful when you're sliding this closed. It's easy to forget that this is deployed and it doesn't quite want to close it very easily. It's better if you push it down yourself. Now we're comparing the Surround on the right with the HTC HD7, which is T-Mobile's Windows 7 launch phone. This has the 4.3-inch display of the HD7, and it's very similar to the HD2. And as you can see, it's a little bit more faded looking, but this uses older TFT technology, whereas this is using the newer SLCD technology on the 3.8-inch Surround. So a little bit higher quality display, though of course it is smaller. In terms of thickness, the HD7 is pretty thin, so this guy is going to be thick because of the slider that accommodates the speaker. And in fact, this weighs more. It's 6.2 ounces on our digital scale versus 5.8 ounces for the larger HD7. They both have nice build quality and HTC's usual understated aesthetic. And now we're going to compare this Surround with the Samsung Focus, which is the other launch phone available on AT&T running Windows Phone 7. Now this has a 4-inch display and it's Super AMOLED, so as you can see it's way more vibrant and, well, pretty looking. It's particularly well suited to Microsoft's Live Tiles. It uses bright colors. This guy is slightly larger from the front view, just ever so slightly, and it's obviously going to be thinner from the side view because it doesn't have a slide-out speaker. From the back view, you can see the HTC again has a nice matte finish where the Samsung is gloss plastic. Now both of these phones are primarily made of plastic, but Samsung embraces plastic, shall we say, with their gloss finishes, while HTC tries to hide it with their design. We're not going to spend a lot of time delving into Windows Phone 7 software because it's the same on all these devices. You're not going to get anything different other than a few manufacturer and carrier customized items on here. But to give you a brief look, since this is a new platform, we have the phone tile here, which takes you to the phone application, which goes straight to your call history by default, and then you can switch to the dialer right here, and you also have access to your contacts. Big buttons, very easy to use. Your people tile over here, this is filled with folks from your contacts. We haven't populated this with a lot of stuff, but you've got a few folks over here, and if you do your Facebook sign up, Facebook stuff shows up here as well. It's a pretty sweet Facebook interface that Microsoft developed. Obviously we have a link to our Hotmail account right here. You can see how the mail client looks, which is to say pretty awesome. And you can pinch zoom right here scroll around, forward the email, and other useful things. And this works with MS Exchange, POP3, Hotmail, IMAP, Google Mail, all that good stuff. With the Zoom player right here, which is the music and video player. And you have shortcuts to your history, what you've been playing recently. You can go straight to music, videos, podcasts, the FM radio, which is built into all Microsoft Windows 7 phones, and access to the Zune Marketplace to purchase or stream content if you have a Zune Pass. Again, it's a very beautiful interface. It's head and shoulders above iTunes at the moment. We have UVerse Mobile over here. If you have that set up, that's $10 a month. You can stream TV from AT&T's UVerse service. Internet Explorer Mobile, Xbox Live for gaming, your calendar. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. We don't have any appointments set up here, but here's your day view. We have an agenda view if we had appointments, and you can tap right there to get a month view. And this also syncs with Google, with Exchange, and with Exchange Active Sync capable services. Picture tile right here, AT&T Navigator and HTC Hub, which we'll show you. We've seen this on the HD7 already. It surprisingly doesn't do a whole lot, but it does give you that HTC Sense clock that you might miss from the HD2 or from Android phones. And this also provides a portal into the Windows Marketplace for Windows 7 phones to download applications. And they have their own featured apps. And you can download a couple of apps from the Windows Marketplace for phone also that are made by HTC, some handy things like their own stock picker and a notes application and stuff like that. Nothing really huge, but just a couple of handy little utilities to get you going from HTC. As with all Windows phones, you can tap and hold on a tile to remove it if you want. You can pin anything, up to 256 of them, in fact, to be a live tile. This is a list of all applications installed on the phone. You just press and hold on one, which picks something that isn't already there. And you have an option to pin to Start menu. And there it is right down there. And if you want to move it, you press and hold it, and you can drag it around elsewhere. So since this has the fancy speaker, we're going to try out some music here. We're just going to stream something from the Zune service. Right now we're about less than half volume, so this gets very, very loud. Without distorting. If you press that button, you go between Dolby sound effects. So if you're the kind of person who likes to share your music with the room or listen to videos without a headset, and you won't be deranging people when you do that, then the HTC Surround certainly has its appeal, but it does add size and weight to the device. It's up to you, really, if this is the kind of thing that you want and need. Certainly it's probably great for kids who tend to like to share their music with each other. All the Windows 7 phones are fast. They all run on the same 1 GHz Snapdragon CPU. This has 576 megs of RAM. It has 16 gigs of built-in storage. There is no micro SD card slot for expansion, unlike the Samsung Focus, which does have a card slot. Inserting a card in the Focus is a slightly complex deal. Once you put it in there and format the phone, you got to leave that same card in there unless you want to format your phone and start from scratch again. This also has a 5 megapixel autofocus camera with flash, and we'll show you that real quick. There's a dedicated camera button on the side. You can launch the camera application. And this does focus faster than the HD7, which uses old camera technology. It still, however, is kind of slow to focus in low light conditions indoors, but if it's outdoors, it's not too bad. Let's just see if we can focus here. And then the camera interface here automatically shows you the last pictures you've taken, which is kind of cool, and you can go right back into the camera again. And controls here are fairly standard. There is no setting for focus mode because this has only autofocus. There's no face detection or other features. You can change your resolution, metering mode. You can control the flash. This can also shoot 720p video. Camera quality, I'm sorry to say, HTC phones, you know, they're just not the best. this is definitely better than the HD7. It doesn't take quite as good pictures as the Samsung Focus, nor does it focus as quickly in low light conditions, but it's not a terrible camera either. It's okay camera. And we'll take a look at the browser now. Again, this is pretty much standard on all Windows Phone 7 devices, and this is over AT&T's 3G network. So now we're loading our own site over AT&T's 3G network. This has 3G HSDPA 7.2 megabit per second download speeds. Windows Phone 7 does not yet support 4G, but then again, AT&T does not have a 4G network yet either. So the browser rendering is pretty good. No complaints there, and the speed is top-notch. But this doesn't support HTML5 yet, nor does it yet support Flash. These things are coming. It does support Silverlight. It's a fast and capable browser, and it supports multiple tabs. Oddly, when you're in landscape mode, there are no controls for the browser. You have to go back into portrait mode. So here you have access to the URL bar, and you can see the on-screen keyboard, which is one of the best on a phone. And you can type in your URL, and you can get to other settings here. Find on page, pin a web page to the start menu, share the page, and you can get to a limited range of settings here. Mobile versus desktop identification, cookies on my phone, that kind of thing. And we'll check out one more website, the New York Times, now that we've told this to identify itself as a desktop device. So here we are loading the full real New York Times homepage, which is pretty cool. And on some of the Samsung Galaxy S phones, they default to be mobile browser, and you actually can't get to the regular New York Times homepage. Unfortunately, you won't see any HTML5 videos that might be on the front page because, again, this doesn't support HTML5 video just yet. But it's fast, and it's capable, and it's pleasant. So now we're in Xbox Live on the phone, and you can see here I can customize my avatar if I want, change gender and hair and all that kind of stuff. Gaming requests would show up over here. And here are things in my collection. They show up here, and then the slightly grayed out ones with Try Now are other games that you can download, and there's quite a few. That's what it looks like. You get a description. You can click on that for more details. The screenshots, it gives you the panoramic screenshot view, and you can see reviews, what other people said. Most games are $2.99 to $4.99. A few of the top titles are $6.99. I'll show you what the screenshots look like. You can swipe through and get a variety of views on the game. Now we're going to show you Need for Speed Undercover.
You've had quite an impressive run. Your recent undercover operation posing as a wheelman to bust car thieves has been exceptional. But these local police stings can take months, if not years, to execute. I don't have that kind of time. We only have a couple of weeks. The FBI is stepping in. I'll be...
So here we are, Need for Speed Undercover. The controls in this game are really good. Obviously, I'm using the accelerometer to steer. And we have the speaker deployed so you can hear the audio from the game. And this is at about 1/3 to 40% volume right now with the Dolby noise reduction turned on. Makes the sound a little bit more full and less screechy. Obviously, the phone is capable of some pretty high-end 3D gaming. A little nitro boost there. That's Need for Speed. So that's the HTC Surround, available on AT&T now for $199 with a contract. It's part of the launch series of Windows Phone 7 devices. It's definitely a phone with very nice build quality. It looks like a mature device, shall we say, despite the fact that it has a deployable boombox feature over here, which might appeal more to the youth market. It's solid. It is a bit on the big and heavy side. It's sort of about the same size as the T-Mobile G2, also made by HTC, that phone running Android on T-Mobile's network. So if you're interested in a Windows 7 phone and you're trying to decide between this and the Focus, now you've got more information to go on. This one is for you folks who want the big speaker. The Focus is for those who want a thin and light phone with a really super vibrant Super AMOLED display. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Visit our website to read the full review.